Here we go. I'm spoiling myself with this because this is the first thing I've read in Latin, and this is like the fifth time I've read it, so I should know it pretty well. This site, it's up there, hypotactic, macrons are on, J and V, you can turn them on so it can be J's, V's, or I's and U's, and it has colour. So the personnel of this, Lars Familiar, he talks about the prologue, Euclio the Senex, my favourite character, Euclio the old man. I'd say more than half the class dropped out of Latin, but I had a love of Euclio, so I went on. Staphyla the old woman, Eunomia the matron, she's a widow, Megalodorus the Senex, he's the old man. We've got a service here, Pythodidicus. We've got two cooks, they're spelt with a C here, but they're originally a Q and U when I learned them. Congrio and Anthrax, you want Anthrax handling your food. Strobulus the slave, the young boy Lyconides, he's Megalodorus' son, I believe. Phaedra, and the flute players, the Tibicina. Argumentum 1. A senex avarus vix sibi credent Euclio. So Euclio is an old man, and he's avarice, he's greedy, and he scarcely trusts himself. At his home, at his domi, here we go, you can click for the poetry things here. This is in Iambic Sonari, a very free version of Iambic Trimeter. You can probably turn these things off if you want. It's got show colours, etc. Anyway, he's at his home when he's dug up, the De Fossem. He's found invented an Orlem De Fossem. So he's found a pot, and it had multis opibusses. There was a lot of wealth and resources. It's gold, actually. And Rosum qui, and again, penitens deeply, he condided it. He hid it away, and he's amen, so he's a bit mad, and he's protecting it, which is the servat bit, ex animus. He's a bit pale with fear. Actually, the J's on. I'll have to click that. Now it's in ES. Lyconides has violated the daughter of Euclio. I'll have to stop clicking on it because it does that. The filiam of Euclio. Meanwhile, interior, the Senex Megalodorus, who lives next door, is persuaded, suasus, so it's the supine past passive thing. He's been persuaded by his soror, his sister, to ducere an uxor, to marry a wife. And he deposcates, he demands or asks nicely, for the Gnatem, the daughter of this avarice up here, which means it's Euclio, for himself, Sibi. And if you click on it, it gives you all these trochees and all these other thingos. The Juris Senex, scarcely, or it takes a bit of convincing, but he does promit it. This is the argument, so it's not the actual play yet. And fearing for his pot of gold, timensing it, at home, he's sublatam, so he's taken it away and he's abstruded it, so he's hidden it in various locuses, various places. Now the servus, now there was a version of this that had O in there, so it got me really confused, but yeah, this looks like it's got the correct spelling. The slave of the Lyconides, who videorated the virgin who violated her, he's facketing, he's making some insidious, he's making some plotting, and himself obsecrates avonoculum megalodorum, basically in English. Now there's a present participle down here with the dative, so it's the amanting. So the amanting is the lover, to or for the lover. Anyway, he wants to cedere the uxor. So what that just means basically he's begging for himself, obsecrates for himself. He wants this uxor, he wants this wife for himself, the one who violated him. And his slave is preparing some tricks. Anyway, per the dolum, through these tricks, soon Euclio, mox Euclio, when he's perdited, when he had lost his orlem, his pot, he finds it, he invents it, inspirato, unexpectedly, or he wasn't hoping for such a thing, but it did. And latus, he, which means happy, let's kind of click down here, he conlocates his natam with Lyconides. So he betroths her or promises it. And there's a second argument. And if you go down here, Aulularia. So it spells out the name of it in Latin, which is Aulularia or something like that. Anyway, Aulam repertam, the pot's found in the accusative. It's planam ora, it's full of gold. Euclio, he servats, he protects this pot that he found full of gold with vima summa, utmost strength. And he's affectatus, he's affected in many ways with misery, you might want to say. He's very full of misery. He's getting stressed out. And Lyconides, here we are again in this, so revisiting the same thing. He is vitiated, he's violated the daughter of Istius. Istius would be Euclio. Okay. We're already 5 minutes in anyway. Megalodorus, he wants to ducere her, he wants to marry her in dotatem. A dos is a dowry, so indos means without a dowry. And so that he should do it lubens, or gladly, what's taking the subjunctive, he gives or provides coquasses. Oh, there it is, got the Q there. With an obsonio, that's when you buy provisions for a feast, so it looks like he's covering all the charges. Euclio is formidating for his gold. He's fearing or dreading for his gold. And he obstrudes it, hides it away for us, which is an adverb meaning outside, outdoors. Ray means the whole thing. This is taking the R of, again, these initials. We have a servolus, so literally means a small slave, but it's just a slave, the slave of the compressor. The rapist was the compressor. Inspector omne, he's inspected everything, he actually saw everything. He saw Euclio obstruding it for us outside, I think it's in a temple. And he surpets it, he steals it. Ilic usually means there, but I'd say it's, in this ancient sort of Latin, it might mean him. So he refers the ram to Euclio, so he gives it to Euclio. And from him, from Euclio, is donator the gold, the wife, and a filio, the son. That's the son caused by the compression of the rape. Okay, so here we are at the prologue, and the la is about to speak. Don't worry about a daily dictionary word. Naquis, lest anyone should be amazed or wonder, qui sim, who I am, illa qua porcis, I will speak a few words. I la sum, I am the la of this family. I'm the la familius from this family, from which exeunting me aspectisis, so that's plural. You've seen me exeunting, you've seen me going out from this house. He's the la of the house from which you saw me coming out of. Hanc domum, again, domums are female, so. Now for many years it is, since I've been in possession of this house, and colo, if it was a man doing it, you'd think he might be praising, but he's just looking after it. For this father and avo, if I click that, you should turn into a V, will it? Oh, that one. Okay, so it's, I prefer V's and I's, so it's not a really good match anyway. So for this father and the grandfather, now, yeah, I think I hate J's more than I like V's, so I'll have to make a compromise anyway. So the father of him who now has it, who now lives in this house. But me, usually that's a vocative or something, in these days it's probably can be used for other things. But the avis, the grandfather, had obsequioused me, he'd begged me, and he had trusted his thesaurus of gold secretly, all of it. A thesaurus is a treasure, so the gold's a treasure. In medio foco, that's in the middle of the fireplace. Yeah, so devoted, he dug it in the middle of the fireplace. Venerings me that I would servare it for himself. So he's basically implored that the la should preserve this for himself. And he, since he was dying, thus is the ingenium, or the character or the nature of this avido, of him was avarice, he was greedy. He never wanted to indicate to filio sua, to his son. And he opted, he chose Potius rather to leave this son in open equi, without the resources of the treasure. Then, so podius quem, he preferred to have him being a pauper, then to commenstrare it, then to monstro or demonstrate, point out where the treasure was to his filio. Filio, and there's the poetic metre above it. Reliquit agri, so he left to him fields to him, and not a magnum modum, not a great amount, in which with magno labore, with great labour, he would live out misere or in a bit of poverty. When he obited mortem, when he met his death, him who had entrusted or credited to me with the gold, I began to observe where equi. I'm a big fan of these X in front of things. Normally for questions you put nam at the end, so it'd be qui nam, but the X sort of means what at all or something. So I began to observe whether at all the filius would have maiorum, would be more honour for me, he would have, than the father, eos, of him habewisited, had had. At quili viro. End and but, or we might say, and truly he had minus and minus, less and less impendia he spent in care, and less honour he would impart to me. So he's really not treating the law with respect. Item. So likewise, by me, contrafactum est. So he did likewise against me, and this last bit, and he likewise met his death. He obited his day. It's his final day. From say from himself, he left this, who now he's the one who now has a son, so that would be the grandfather now has the son. Parita again, equally, he's died. Ut partet avus, who is ut, as the father and the grandfather. We have huic filia uneris, this who has the one daughter. She's the one who was compressed, as we saw. Okay. She, Ia, to me, cotide daily, either tur or vino or another thing. She always supplicates, so she's always paying respects with tur, which is incense, or vino, which is wine, or some other way she's showing the la some respect. She dat mihi coronas, she gives me garlands. These are coronas, these like a ring of flowers or something. Okay, there's corona, daily dictionary word, crown or garland. Anyway, feci, I've made it, this is the la, he's made it, so that Euclio will reperry it, will find this treasure, the thesaurus. Quo, we've got a comparative of quo means ut, so that it'll be easier for marriage, see valid if he wants, Tarrant to give her. So the la wants to look after her, though he didn't do much to stop her being raped. Anyway, a few more lines. Nam. For she was compressed by an adolescent, was the one who did the compressing, and he is an adolescent from sumo loco, very highborn in society, sumo loco. He, the adolescent, skits, he knows she, which was compressed, he knows that it was his neighbour's daughter, but Illa, she, doesn't know Illum. She didn't know who it was who raped her. And neither, moreover, autem, does the pater know. Neither does a father know that she was raped. And I think that'll do for today.